Okay, so we have seen yesterday session, there are three steps. The first one, we need to create a disk, persistent disk. Then we need to create a persistent volume. And then we have to use PVC to request the required storage. And we will use that PVC in the pod so that depending on the PVC, we will be able to get the persistent volume. So that we have learned. So today we will do it practically, like how we can do it. So for this practical, we need a cluster should be available. So I have a cluster created here already. So this is the cluster. Now click on connect. You will get this login ID. So these are the login details. Copy, open git bash, and just paste it. So it will authenticate you and it will allow you to log in. So now if you do kubectl git config, sorry, get nodes, you will see the list of nodes which are available in the cluster. So I can see there is a one node which is available. So this is I have already created because it takes at least 20 to 10 to 15 minutes to create the new node. So this is the cluster which we created yesterday only, and that is still available running. So I have not created new today. Okay. So how to proceed? So for that, I have made a very simple guide. So those are the paid members. You will get that notes along with the recordings. So here we have 6 steps need to perform. The first, we will need to create a cluster. So that we have done. Second thing, we need to create a persistent disk. So that we have already created in our last practical. But we will create once again. Then we need to create a persistent volume. Then we need to create a PVC and we need to create the pod. So once we create the pod, we can see the status of PVC and all, and we are good to create the practical. So then once we are done, it's best practice to delete all the resources so that you will utilize your credit and you will not go out of the credit. So here, these are the very simple steps, just copy and paste, and this will create the cluster. So either you can go GUI way or you can go command way. So both will work. Then now we need to create persistent disk. So simply copy this command. So here I have defined everything like compute disk, create, then mygcpd. This is a name of the persistent disk which we are going to create. If you want different name, you can just change it and it will, you can keep any name to this resources. Then size here we have mentioned as a 10 gigabyte zone. It will be created in US Central 1 and then type PD standard. So that I have shown you already. So just copy this command and it will create the persistent disk. So it will give you the error like you want. It's not an error, actually, it's a warning. You have selected a disk size of under 200 GB. So this may result in poor input output performance. So ignore that because we are just doing a practical. So we don't need a big storage. Okay. So now though warning will occur, we will able to create the persistent disk. So you can see this is the name of persistent disk, which we have mentioned, mygcpd. Then zone, we have created it US Central 1 A zone. Size we have mentioned 10 GB. Type is a PD standard and status is ready. It means this disk is readily available to use. So now what we have done, we have just created a persistent disk. So now we need to create a persistent volume. So how we can create it? So again, we will need to use the YAML. So this is the YAML file using which you can create it. So for example, if you have multiple disks, So you can just copy this command and it will show you the available lists. We have only one, so it will show only one. It will get the same output. So in a real-time scenario, there may be a multiple disks available in your cluster. So then we need to find out which one we have to use. Okay. So now create a YAML file and get started creating with the PV. So here again, we have seen yesterday what is the information here. API version v1 kind will be a persistent volume because we are going to create a PV. Metadata, name of the PV, we have just given my PV. You can give any name to this resource. Capacity we have to mention here. Storage is 10 GB. Access mode is read write once, and persistent volume reclaim policy is retain a GC persistent disk. So if it is if you are performing the same practical on AWS, then this value will be changed. And then PD name. So here it is a very important part. Here what we have created a PD in our step 2. So this one. So we given this name mygc PD. So the same name should be used here when we are creating a persistent volume, because this will search for this persistent disk and it will create the resource. And then FS type is ext4. So just copy this, create a YAML file. So here it is already available. Okay, so let me edit it. Let me copy it, then use shift insert. Okay, so now we are creating a pv.yaml and just simply save it. You can verify it pv.yaml, and you can see this is the file which we have created. So name will be mypv, then GC persistent disk, mygc dpd, and the size will be a 10 gigabytes. Okay, so now we know how to create the resources in Kubernetes. kubectl apply -f pv.yaml, and it will create a persistent volume. Okay, so you can see persistent volume my PV created. So it is showing you this way, or you can re-verify kubectl get PV. So now here you can see it is showing the more detail. So here little bit mess. So let me run the command again so that you will see it perfectly. Okay, now it looks better. So here you can see the name is mypv, capacity is 10 gigabytes, access mode is rewrite once, reclaim policy is retain, status is available, and here you can see it is showing claim empty, storage class empty, volume attribute class unset, reason and 836. So now here you can see this is a persistent volume which we have created, but here we cannot see any claim. So now here you will understand why it is showing empty, because we have not created a PVC yet. So when we will create a PVC, then this PV will get occupied, and then it will show who has claimed this persistent volume. So then this field will appear. So check it. Now we created Now we have to create the PVC. So what is PVC? We are asking to reserve some amount of storage for our use of a pod. So here you can see API version V1, same thing. Kind will be changed. We have persistent volume. Now this persistent volume claim. Then metadata, name of the PVC is my PVC. You can have any name for that. Then access mode is also read write once. And now you can see resources here we have request and storage we have requested 10 gigabyte. So you will notice here while we are creating a PVC, we have not given any reference of a persistent volume or persistent disk. Why? Because this is created by the developer and developer will never know which PV will get assigned to that pod. So here we are not giving any reference. But when we are creating a PV, so you can see here, when we are creating a PV, we are mentioning a type of disk that is GC persistent disk. It means it tells it will be a Google based persistent volume and then type which is already created in our first step GC persistent disk my GC PD. So that will be used. So here this is a PV, but when we creating a PVC, we are not having any details. So it will check with the parameters. So what it will check? It will check 10 GB of storage. Then it will check access mode. And using both parameters, it will check which PV is available. So now we are just running a practical and we are not in a production or not an actual environment. We are creating a replica of actual environment. So we have only one persistent volume, but what if there are multiple volumes? So how PVC will come to know where to hit? So understand the storage based on the storage and then access mode. When which PV will satisfy these two criteria, that volume will get that PVC, means persistent volume claim. So now let's create it a PVC. So vi pvc.yaml insert, shift insert, save wq, and we have saved. We can verify the file cat pvc.yaml. So this is the what we have created. Now we will want to create the PVC. So how we can create that? Same way, same steps. So you can see persistent volume claim, my PVC has been created. So now let's check kubectl get PVC and see what details we are getting. So now here you can see name, it is showing my PVC, and status, it is showing pending. Why it is showing pending? Because we have not used this PVC in any pod creation. So it is, we have just created a PVC, means we have created the claim, but we have not used it anywhere. So you can correlate here. Same thing here, you can see this is what we done kubectl get PV. Here claim is not blank, storage class is blank, reason everything is blank, and volume attribute class is unset. So here also it is unset. Why? Because this is the first step. We created a PV and we created PVC. So now when PVC will be get used, when we will create a pod. So now let's go and create the pod. So these are the steps which where you can see kubectl get PV, kubectl get PVC. Now we need to create the pod. And here see the YAML file. So API version V1 by default we know that will be V1. Kind will be pod because we want to create the pod. Metadata means the name of pod which we are going to create. And then containers. So which image we want to use for that pod. So you can see my container is a name of the container that is given by us. So you can type anything here when you are creating any resource in Kubernetes. And then image means container image which we want to create. So now here we are creating a Nginx. You can use any image of your choice, but Nginx is a smaller size, so it gets created quickly. So that's why we prefer Nginx while doing the practice. Now here you can see has volume mounts. So where volume mounts will be done. So this is a path/user/share nginx/html. So here the volume mounts will be created, and the name of that volume mounts will be my storage. And now here you can see we are giving the details of volumes. So it's like your computer has C drive, D drive, E drive. Same thing for pod. We are giving here volumes. So name my storage, which we have already defined. And then now here, how it will get that storage. So we are using persistent volume claim. And then claim name is my PVC. So now here we are using the PVC, which we have created in step 4. And then the Kubernetes cluster will create the pod with the attached my PVC. So copy this and create the YAML file. So it has already one file created. So let's give it something different name, vi, or delete the previous file, rmpod.yaml. Okay, now we will create new file. Insert, shift, insert, save it. Okay, I made a typo error. That's why it happened. Pod.ml. Insert, shift, insert, escape, save. Okay, now you can see there is a simple file. Let's check it. So it is our file. It looks better. API version v1. So we have as expected. Now create the pods. So now you can see it is taking a little bit time. So generally, when we are creating a pod, it don't take that much time. But now what we are doing, we are using a PVC. That's why it take little bit more time. So now see if pod is available. It's showing pod created, get pod, and it is ready state 1/1. So now let's see what happened in the process of creating this pod. So how we can check that? kubectl describe pod and name of a pod. So now here you can see the first step is a normal scheduled from the scheduler. This is the scheduler successfully assigned a default my pod to GKE3 cluster. So first this pod scheduled on a node. So node is already present. So you can see that was assigned to that node. Then what happened in next step? Attached a controller, attach volume, attach volume PVC. So this volume which we have created that got attached to the pod. Then once pod scheduled, then PVC got attached to that pod. Then it started pulling the image. So which image it pulled? Nginx, because that we have mentioned in the pod YAML. Then image got pulled and it created a container name as my container, and then container started. So these are the 5 steps happen when we are created a pod. So, and now you can see the pod is running. Now let's check what is the status of the PV. So now here you can see claim. So earlier, if you look at the previous result, where we have done kubectl get PV. So this is our first step before creating the pod. And you can see we are able to see the name of the PV capacity, but here claim storage class, these are the empty. But if you check it after creating a pod, you can see this step has been added. So now you can see the PV is the name of a PV. Okay. And then this is a PVC got created and its capacity is 10 gigabyte and access mode is read write once. Reclaim policy is delete because that we have mentioned in the PVC, and status you can see it is showing now bound. Earlier it was available, now it is showing bound. And then claim, who has claimed this? So default is a namespace, and then my PVC has the claim. And now you can see the storage class standard read write is a storage class. So let's check get PVC. Now you can see the status as bound. And mode read write once, storage class standard read write once, and this is a time when it is created. So it is created 8 minutes 7 seconds ago. So see the changes before creating pod and after creating the pod. So you can see this is the status before creating the pod. So it is showing as a pending, and here it has not any volume capacity, neither access mode, because we have just created a persistent volume claim. We have not used it. But when we inside the pod, now you can see the result status which was a pending, now it is a bound. And it is the volume PVC. So this is also same thing, is showing under the PV. Then capacity is 10 gigabyte, access mode is read write once, storage class is standard read write once. RWO means read write once, and it is showing it. So this is how we can create a PV and PVC. So generally, developer will create those PVCs. Okay, so now let's find out the troubleshooting steps. So if something went wrong, how we will able to troubleshoot. So let's create a scenario where everything is not working smooth. So let's say we have created a PV of 10 GB and we have created a claim of a 10 gigabyte. So let's try to create a one more PVC with the 10 gigabyte and see if we are able to do it or not. So I will edit the file pvc.yaml. So this is a file. Okay. So here I have given the name as a my PVC. So I will change the name because I will not able to create the same resource with the same name. So I did not made any changes to YAML file. Everything is as it is, but I created change the name. Why it changed? Let me show you. Then I will change so that you will not confuse. Okay. So I want to, what is my requirement? I want to create one more PVC here. So I will use kubectl apply -f my, what is, sorry, it is also pvc.yaml. pvc.yaml. Typo error, cube C is missing. Okay. So what I'm trying to create one more PVC with the same YAML file. So it should throw me error. Okay, my PVC unchanged because I am using command apply. So when I use the command apply, it make changes to the existing one. But if I use the command create, let me use the command create. So it will show the my PVC already exists. It is taking a lot of time. Like, like when we created for first time, it did not take that much time. So it is taking a lot of time because there is something issue with that. So here you can see error from server already exists. Error when creative PVC.yaml, persistent volume claim my PVC already exists. So there is already PVC with name my PVC. Hence, it is not allowing me to create one more PVC. So what is the solution for that? I need to edit that file and change the name of the file. Then only I will be able to create the PVC. So simply I'm not going to change anything, just adding the name PVC2. Now it will allow me to create the resource with the same file. So here I'm using the same command kubectl create -a pvc.yaml. So here I can use a create or apply both because it is changed. So if I use, so here I hope you understand the difference between create and apply. So when you have to create a new resource, you will use the command create, and when you have to modify the existing resource, then we will use a command as apply. So kubectl create -f pvc.yaml. So I changed this name of the PVC, and let's see if I am able to do it. So you can see immediately it got created my PVC2. So let's check the status of that. So here you will understand very well, because both it will show both the status. So this is the my PVC which I have created 13 minutes ago. It is I have used in the pod. So it is status is found, but this is a pending. So now here you can see at this stage, for creating a PVC, it is not required you to have the resources already created in your cluster, because this is written by the developer, right? And this is only pending state. So now when we will create the pod, then only that volume will get created. So this is just a claim. So now like just like uh, so I hope you understand what is claim. So it is just a bidding process kind of thing. It is we are just telling the a cluster, like we will need this kind of, this is our requirement, we may need this in future. When we will need, when we have to create deploy, when we have to create deployment, or when we have to create the pod. So actually here we are doing a pod, just simplicity of the understanding the concept. But in actual, we will not create the pods, we will create the deployments when we are working on the projects. Okay, so this is the, so now here understand we have create. Okay, so now we will create one more pod to understand this concept very well. So again, just like we edited the YAML of the PVC, we need to change the YAML of the pod. Why? Because it will not allow us to create, because that resource is already available. So what we are doing, we are just creating the name of the pod. So I am giving my pod 2. And now I will be able to create the resource. I can use apply or create, both are will work and have the same result. Here you can see my pod got created. So let's see if it is running. So now here you can see the first pod which we have created is running and ready. But the second pod which we have created is in pending state. So let's once again. It is still in pending state. Can anyone guess why it is in pending? So how you can find out? Using command describe pod and name of a pod. So describe command will list all the events which are happened in the pod. So now here you can see it is giving a warning what has happened failed scheduling. Why failed? 56 seconds ago. So from scheduler. So this is a scheduler who is responsible to create and monitor the pod. 0 out of 1 nodes are available. Insufficient CPU preemption. 0 out of nodes are available. No preemption victims found for incoming pod. So actually, there is no available node who can handle this pod. So what happened? So here we are using a GKE managed cluster. So here we don't need to take anything about, because it will automatically, you can see, triggered a scale up. It means it has requested automatically create a new node or increase the capacity of the node. So here you can see 50 seconds cluster, auto cluster, pod triggered scale up. It means it will ask, it has to increase resources. So now it's automatically increase the of a node. So let's see what happened. See, so here you can see this is where it has raised for a autoscaler to scale up. So now here it was 0 out of 1 nodes are available. Now here you can see 0 out of 2 nodes are available in CPU. One nodes had a one node affinity conflict. Preemption node 0 out of 2 nodes are available. So it has created a one more node and then it scheduled, and you can see successfully assigned a default my pod to GKE cluster. So now it has automatically increased the resources because we are using a GKE managed cluster. So if we have kind cluster and we don't have the uh, sufficient resources, then the pod will be always in a pending state. Now, first understand what happened. It increased the node capacity, and now it is it gave error failed attach volume. Why? Because multi-attach error for volume PVC 20. Volume is already used by pods, my pod. It means it has insufficient storage to create a new pod. So if I check kubectl get pod, it will be still in a pending state. So you can see it is showing container creating, but it has issue with the shortage of memory, because if you see the PV size, we have a volume of 10 PV. This is our my PV which we have created. It has having 10 gigabyte of capacity, and PVC which is created, so it has utilized a full capacity of 10 gigabyte. So it don't have the sufficient memory to create the new PVC. And if we look at the status of PVC, so you can see the first one is a bound and second is still in a state because it is not getting the memory. So let's see what happened as pod. So this is the way you can troubleshoot using a command describe. So it may be a pod related. If you are getting issue with the PVC, you can use the command kubectl describe and it will show us event of action. And using that event of action, we can troubleshoot the issue. So now you can see it is still having issue. So when it will get that resource, so first thing we need to modify the PVC. So let's modify the first PVC kubectl First, we need to modify it. So vi pvc.yaml insert. Here we have used a 10 GB. So let me do it 5 GB. Escape WQ, and I will do it. Okay, I need to change the name of PVC as well, because we have renamed it. It will, if I do apply, it will get applied to the next PVC. So I am doing it PVC 2. So here I am just showing you the scenario, but in actual case, you may need to increase the size of a persistent volume. kubectl apply -f pvc.yaml. So here you can see, this way we cannot make a changes, because if you have seen in our computer as well, if you go, the persistent volume claim my PVC is invalid specification. What is the issue? Forbidden. Field cannot be less than a previous value. It means once we can created a PVC of 10 GB, we cannot lower it. We can increase it. So if you see the disk manager in our computer as well, disk management. So this is a disk management in your Windows. So here you can see these are your volumes, right? So, but actual this is not your volume. So you have only one. So you can see disk 0 is your PV. In case of pod, let's compare with your computer. So disk 0 is your pod PV, not a PV. It is a persistent disk, and you can see the size of it is 476 of 81 GB. So when you buy a computer, you have one hard disk attached to it, and this is your persistent disk. And using this persistent disk, you create the volumes. So here now you can see you have created. So this is created when computer was formatted. So you can see there are the 3 volumes are created, 1, 2, 3. And when you need a pod, a memory, you will create a claim. So you can see there are the 3 partitions, right? Of a one persistent disk. So these are the 3 PVs, and you will request the resources to assign you to small amount of storage using it. So how you will assign, you request it? So using a PVC, and then this partition will happen. The same thing, what happens on your computer, same thing happens on your pod as well. So now what we observed, that PVC cannot be reduced. So what are the options? Either we need to create a one more persistent disk, we need to create a one more persistent volume, and then we will be able to assign that PVC to this pod. Or another chance is, when this PVC will get deleted, we will get that persistent volume available. So let's follow the second step. Let's delete the resources. But how to delete the resources? The order in which you created, you have to go in reverse. How? First, we create a Kubernetes cluster. Then we created a persistent disk. Then we created a persistent volume. Then we created a persistent volume claim. And at the end, we created a pod. So now you have to delete the resources. Then you have to go in the reverse order. So first you need to delete the pod. Then you will need to delete the persistent volume claim. And then you will delete the persistent volume. And at final, you will delete the persistent disk and cluster. So this is a good practice. And here in document, I have given all the steps how to delete all the pods. So here you can see delete all the sources. First, I have suggested to delete the pod. So then simply copy this command and delete the pod. But here I will suggest The second approach to delete kubectl get pods. First, list all the pods and then select which one you want to delete. Name of a pod is my pod. So now delete this pod. Okay. So now here you can see the pod has been deleted. Now what we have to delete? We have to delete the PVC. Get PVC. So now here you can see this is the PVC which we have created. So we can delete it. And type the name of the PVC which you want to delete. So here you can see persistent volume claim my PVC deleted. So now we have deleted this PVC. It means if we check the status of PV, it should be converted back to the initial state, like ready. So this is the stage, early stage, where we have status as available. So now after deleting this PVC, our status should be available. It is taking some time to delete. See here, it's taking a time to delete the PVC because it is detaching it from the PV. Okay, so till it is taking some time. If you have any questions regarding to PVC, let me know. Okay, if you have joined for the very first time and you don't know about anything about Kubernetes, then it will be a little bit difficult to understand the concept. But stay in the session, and very soon we are starting our new batch, and that will be taken on a new platform, entirely new platform. So here we are planning something extra for all the students. We will announce that very soon in our website as well as our AWS, the group which we have created for this batch. It is maybe stuck. Let me check. Get PVC. It has deleted or not. Okay, you can see it is still terminating state. It is not deleted. Let's check the status of the PV. So it is still bound. So we need to wait for some time and then this will get released. So as soon as this will get released, the pod which we are waiting state, that will get so now here you can see this was in waiting state for 14 minutes. And here we have volume is already used by the pods, my pod. But as soon as we deleted it, you can see it got attached detached controller. Attached detached control succeeded for volume. So it got available space. And now it, as soon as it got the PVC available PV, it started pulling image nginx and successfully pulled image nginx, created container and started container. So now our second pod is available. So kubectl get pod, you will see it is ready and running. So I hope you understand what is the concept of PV and PVC. So here I wanted to showcase the use of PV and PVC. So now here, as soon as we deleted the one pod and we deleted the PVC, so then automatically that PV persistent volume was available for another pod. So this way we can see it is a dynamic allocation of storage. So this is the way in the real-time world PV and PV is not used directly. PVC is used to create the pod. So once the pod is deleted, so this may happen when deployment, your pod got deleted. So PVC will also get deleted if you are using a deployments. And now the available storage is can be used by the next one, which is running. So here you can see it was waiting for 14 minutes because it was not available the persistent volume. So as soon as it got the free volume, you can see it got in trigger and it started the pod. So this is the why Kubernetes is used for the high availability, because here we are used a GKE managed cluster. So everything is taken care by GKE itself. We don't have access to the controller. If you see the number of nodes available, so there were one node was available when we started the session, and now it has two nodes. And now after waiting some time, the second node will get also deleted automatically because we don't have the enough load. So here top node is command is used to check the utilization of the resources. Now here you can see this is the first node. This was created. It is using a 264 millicores, and the second is using 130 millicores. And CPU utilization is 13%, and memory is 2619 maybe byte, and then memory 43%, 36%. So when we started the session, if you so there was only one node. So you can see kubectl get node, there were only one node which was available. But as soon as we created a second pod, GKE created a one more node to address the request. So this is the use of a GKE. So okay, uh, we have understood the concept of persistent volume claim, persistent volume. So tomorrow we will start with the storage class. So that is very important. So we are going step by step ahead. But so tomorrow we will create a storage class and we will create this scenario again, and we will try to understand how the storage works in a Kubernetes cluster. So once you are done, then delete all the resources. And we have deleted all the pods, all the PVC, all the PV. And now it's time to delete the disk. So how we can delete? It is very easy. Just copy the command. Here it is a gcloud compute disk delete, and then it will delete it. It will ask you to verify before deletion. Then you have to type Y You can see we have to type Y and it will delete the persistent disk. And at the end, delete the cluster as well. For that also, here uh, we can list the available clusters which are running in the cluster. It will show us G-Cloud container cluster list. It will show the list of all the clusters, and we are name of cluster is Autopilot cluster 1. So we can delete it using the command gc cloud cluster central 1. So here in example I have given the my cluster, but in real my cluster name is this. So I need to change in the command. So it depends what name of cluster you have created, you will use it and delete it. It will ask to delete the cluster, and now you deleted the cluster. So this way we created a cluster, we created a persistent disk, we created a persistent volume, we created a persistent volume claim, then we created a pod. And finally, we deleted in reverse order the resources which we created. So first we deleted the pods, we deleted the PVCs, we deleted the PV, we deleted the persistent disk, and we deleted the cluster. So this hierarchy you have to follow. Hope you understand the concept very well, and see you tomorrow morning 8 with the next topic. Till time, keep learning, keep practicing. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.